Let me stop you right there. Let me just stop you right there. You've been in this industry for 365 days as a licensed barber, and you're upset because you're not making the money that you thought you were going to make. You don't have the clientele that you thought you were going to have. The veteran barbers told you that there's money in this and that you can make a lot of money, and that's great, and we really understand that, and us veteran barbers know. But sometimes barbers don't tell the whole story. They don't tell the whole truth. They don't tell you about the building process. They don't tell you about the grind. They don't tell you about what it takes to get to the place where you are successful, where you are making lots of money. What barbers should tell you about is that the money will come in due time. Yes, it will. But there's a process to building. There's a format to building, right? There's a format, there's a process, and there's a way that you have to build up clientele. And I hate to tell you this, well, I don't hate to tell you this, I'm just going to tell you this. If you think that you're going to be able to come into the industry and operate and move like the older barbers, the veteran barbers who you idolize, who you look up to, if you think that you're going to be able to move like that within the first year, you're crazy. And that's why you're upset. That's why you're struggling. Because you thought that you could get into this industry and have a half a work ethic, half a skills, and just and you people just gonna flock to you just because you put a barber chair, you got a barber chair in the shop, and they gonna give you a chance. No, it's not how that's gonna work. It's not how that's gonna work at all. And you have to understand that. That is in no way, shape, or form how this works. See, the skipping of the work, the skipping of the journey, it's what people seem to keep wanting to do. I'm going to jump over here because this seems like something that I'm going to be able to go through fast, or I'm going to jump over here because this seems like something I'm going to be able to go through fast. No. We talk about all these people, and everybody always talks about, oh, overnight success, overnight success, overnight success. There is absolutely no such thing as an overnight success. And let me also just say this, just in case we want to talk about it. Let's think about the people that like, even people that win the mega lotteries. I can't think of a person who has won a Mega Millions or anything of that nature. I can't think of one person who's won something like that. And they won, and it was the first and only time they had ever played the lottery. Most people that have won the lottery, that win the lottery, and things like that, they played for years, if not decades. They've played. They won a little, they lost a little. They won a little, they lost a little. They won a little, they lost a little. Yes, they hit it big one time, but they've been playing for years. You understand what I'm saying? They hit it big once, but they've been playing for years. And that's the same in this industry, right? Your veteran barbers are in a place where they're at because they've been doing it for years. They've given away free haircuts. They've gone through back to school rushes. They've gone through Christmas rushes. They have gone through all of these sorts of these nuances that go on in the industry. They've gone through graduations. They've gone through homecomings. They've gone through the post Christmas drought where there isn't a lot of clientele. If you don't have a client, they have gone through all of that stuff. In 365 years, you don't even know the tempo. You don't know how it works. You don't know the tempo in your area. You know, in bigger areas, in bigger areas, I dare to say that the drought may not be as bad in every place. Now, I live in a rural area, right? I live in between two big college towns, but they're 30 minutes away on either side. I'm in the smack dab in the middle in a farming factory community, and it's not that big of a place. Just so we understand, really not that big. Okay. And I need you to understand that there are tempos that apply to the shops. There's a tempos that apply to the industries. And I've met some people from much bigger cities than where I'm at. And all of the same tempos and things actually that we talk about, that we talk about where we are, they apply there too. And so you don't just need to understand how to cut hair. Oh, great, congratulations, you learned how to cut hair. You know what your first year is for? Grinding out and getting your fundamentals. And not just fundamentals of techniques as far as cutting hair. Yes, I get it. Well, wasn't I supposed to get that in school? Sure, you were. You were. But you probably didn't. There's probably a lot of things that you skipped over in school that you didn't really want to do, and now you're out here in the real world, and guess what? I bet you wish you'd have paid attention. I bet you wish you'd have paid attention. But hey, what do I know? I'm I'm only telling you guys from experience. There are a lot of things that I wish I had just learned in my first year of my apprenticeship during my stint in school. I wish I had some of the things I paid attention to, some of the things I didn't. And I had to go back and pay somebody to teach me foundational stuff. I had to go and take classes to learn foundational stuff. Kick pride to the side. Kick pride to the side because my clientele was struggling. Struggling is it wasn't struggling. I was struggling with meeting the needs of my clientele. I felt like that I had some inconsistencies. I felt like every time I cut their hair, it was different. And my goal was to be as consistent as possible. I want most of my clients to get the same haircut every time they come in. And I wanted them to look like they got the same haircut every time they came in. And it wasn't always that way. You know, some days it might be a 20, 30-minute haircut. Other days it might be a 45-minute haircut. What's the difference? We're doing the same haircut. I didn't understand the fundamentals. But just go ahead and I didn't understand the fundamentals. So because I didn't understand the fundamentals, I got worked over. But once I got the fundamentals down, and see, guys, like, You're skipping. Oh, you're not skipping. You're trying to skip the very process that's uncomfortable. Yes, it's uncomfortable to build. Yes, it's uncomfortable to. It can be uncomfortable to learn if you have an adversity to it. If you have a problem with learning, and I'm not talking about some sort of intellectual disability type issue. I'm talking about if you're so cocky you feel like, I don't need to learn this. That's what I mean by a problem, because that's an issue. That is an issue. That's a problem with learning. You're so, I don't need to learn nothing else. People paying me. Yeah, but is it enough? Is it enough? Are you booked out? Are you spinning the chair all day, every day, from open to close? Or are you sitting there? Are you sitting around waiting for somebody, or in a shop waiting for the shop to give you its leftovers, aka walk-ins, to give you its leftovers from what the other barbers couldn't handle? Hey, at about month 2 in a shop, you should have some recurring clients. And not just based on the walk-ins. Go out and get you some people. Don't sign up to. I'm telling you right now. Don't sign up to be no independent barber if you're not ready to do the independent work. You want to be a barber that bad, but you don't want to do the work. You want to come. You want to say you a barber. Hey, go to a nice little commission shop that's gonna feed you clientele and everything like that. But for the independent guys, for the guys that really get it out the mud, you really want to jump over there? It's a whole lot of work you got to do. It's a whole lot of work that you got to do. And it's more than just cutting hair. You just want to worry about cutting hair? Go to a commission shop. I'm just go to a commission shop. They'll feed you all the clientele you want. They'll probably give you they'll give you way more perks than a an independent or a booth rental shop will ever give you. Typically, they'll give you way more perks. Way more perks. So if you now here is the caveat to that. If you go to a commission shop, dog, you got to work on their hours. They tell you to be to work at 8:00, and you got to work from 8 to 8 or 8 to, 8 to 5 or whatever. They tell you that's what you got to do. Guess what you got to do? Work from 8 to 5. Now, you should have a consistent schedule anyways, but if you're so lazy that you don't want to do that and you just want to come in whenever it is, no wonder you're upset after a year. No wonder you are upset after a year. Because you ain't done no work. You ain't done no work. And you sitting around looking at other barbers, how they move and how they operate. Stop looking around. How they operate is how they operate. I said it before, I say it again. You don't get to complain about the results that you don't get because of the work that you didn't do. Don't bite nobody else's results. Oh, I'm doing the same thing. You're not. Because if you were doing the same thing, you should get similar, if not the same results. Similar, if not the same results. That's what you should get. But hey, I'm just saying, what do I know? I'm just I'm just telling you, right? You looking at the older barbers and man, they don't ever seem to advertise. They've been here for 15 years. They got 15 years on you or more. You got to understand that. You do not give up. You just need to put some more work in. Go do the work. Stop trying to skip over the work. Well, I ain't really trying to do all that. This is not the industry. But I told you, this is either not the industry for you or you need to go work at a commission shop, period. Go work at a commission shop. And guess what? You don't get the benefits of what you said that you was going to get by becoming a barber and being independent. But if you want to be independent in this game and you want to rock like we rock, us the independent barbers, guess what? You better go figure it out. You better go figure it out. All I got, that's all I got for you. Ain't got a whole lot more for you. Go figure it out. Clear as that's as clear as I can make it for you. Go figure it out. Go ask questions. You got this expensive phone or an expensive it doesn't even have to be expensive. You got a smartphone, but you only use it to do dumb stuff. Say this again. You got a smartphone, but you only use it to do dumb stuff. Oh, I don't know where to get started. Google it. Google it. How do I build up clientele as a barber? How do I grow my business behind the chair? There is articles and books and YouTube shorts and and Instagram reels and Facebook reels and Facebook. There is information everywhere. You're just too lazy to go find it because you think somebody should hand it to you. Hey, tell you like one of the barbers. One of the barbers told me. He said, "You want to build a clientele?" He said, "We got walk-ins that come in. I understand that." He said, "But I'll tell you how I build clientele." He said, "I'd go to the gas station and I'd hand out business cards to everybody there. I especially like to see them guys getting off work. Them construction guys, they filling the big trucks before they take it back to the yard. Hey, boom, 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 boom. I'm giving them the cars. I'm giving them the cars. I'm letting them know. I'm letting them. Hey, what do you want me to tell you?" The biggest thing that you're probably lacking in your business is marketing. And guess what? If you don't market, nobody will know you're there. I've been in the same shop for 5, going on 6 years. I've been in the shop. Now it's slowed down some, but there are still no. I've been in the same shop for 5, going on 6 years. We are on a main street in the city. It connects 2 towns together. It's the main street. If you're not on the highway, you have got to drive past to get into the city. Barbershop sits at a little strip mall right off to the side, right before you get into the city. Been in the same location. Still have people come in and say, "Hey, how long you guys been here?" Now, granted, at one point, it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people that lived in the area, everything like that that been there. Now, it's people who are moving into the area, been in the area less than 6 months, everything like that. I can accept that. It's still not a good thing. These new people moving in, it's still not a good, but I can accept that. What I have an issue with is the small of a town we live in, there are people that are around that still don't know. Got an issue with it. Now, again, we don't have that issue no more because we did marketing. We got our name out there. But for a long time, we didn't. And guess what? When we didn't have our name out there, we were slow. Do you hear me? Slow. It was we were so slow that at the time, back then, we only took walk-ins. And I promise you, between the 3, 4 barbers that were in there at the time, I feel like we probably shared 150 to 200 clients. Between the three of us at the time, we shared 150 to 200 clients. Now, each one of us have probably 250 to 300 clients a piece. We each have about 200, 250 clients. But we marketed. We got our name out there. We showed how it was done. We walked the walk. We talked the talk. We did everything that we needed to do to make sure it was we did all of that to make it happen. So you in year 1, that's great. But don't give up. You ain't even tried everything yet. You haven't even been around long enough yet. You haven't been around long enough. Oh, this just ain't what I thought it was going to be. Here's a question. If you went through, and we were talking about the state of Virginia because that's what I know like the back of my hand. If you went through 2,000 hours plus, depending on which track of an apprenticeship, and you also went through, or you went to school and did 1,100 to 1,500 hours, of education. You went and you drove to wherever it was that you needed to take the state board. You took the state boards, you passed it. You got your license. You've been in the shop for 1 calendar year. Have you really given it any time? You ain't even giving it time to figure it out. You don't know enough about the industry, in my opinion, to quit. If this isn't it, what's going to be it? Because you do realize that you're going to have to make this journey, this process, you're going to have to do this with whatever it is you decide. I don't care if you get a job. You are still going to have to go through this process. And you just out here looking for something easy? Poof. Okay. You want something easy with a big reward. Well, with a big reward because big comes big responsibility. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. It's a lot that goes into this industry. And I tell you, like my wife told me, you got to see it through. When are you gonna say enough is enough and this is the thing that I'm gonna do? Are you gonna keep changing and changing and changing until you have no energy to change anything no more? And then you go get a terrible job that you really don't like, you really can't stay, and then you go get a terrible job. Sorry. You go get a terrible job and you talk about it, and then all you do is sit there and look back on your life with regrets. Oh man, I should have done this. Oh man, I should have done this. Oh man, I should. Oh man, you should have stuck with one thing and figured it out. You said you wanted to be independent. Independence takes structure, discipline, time, patience, and you're going to have to grow. That's what it's going to take. That is what independence is going to take. And if you can't see that, you don't understand that, then we got you got more issues than what we can than what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. You got more issues than what I'm talking about. But the flip flopping back and forth, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna do this. Well, we just waiting on you to do something. Be consistent with it. That's all. Think you should stick consistently with this because you've already made the effort to go through and do it. So might as well just ride it out. See it through. See it through. Anyways, guys, listen, as always, I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a wonderful time. Listen, I just want you guys to understand, like, don't jump from thing to thing. Don't jump ship. Like you're too early in this to give up. You're way too early in this to give up. Be patient. Relax. Relax. Oh, my haircut's not coming out the way I want it to. Okay, cut more hair. The correct way. Look at the foundational things and the foundational steps that you're making where you're making mistakes. Just telling you. Just telling you. Learn the foundation. Build your foundation on solid ground. Right? You got a bunch of little pieces that you didn't put together and said, this is my foundation. Yeah, it's rocky. Real rocky. And some of you guys' foundation might be pebbles. But Anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe so we can grow the tribe. It's been wonderful. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.